we're not snapping your fingers at me.
I put away. I think I did.
Well, that's not gonna get you anywhere. Better just go down to the lab.
Taking my camera off. I'm putting it on what you're working on.
You're trying to put it on what I'm working on.
That's it. I need you to put a link. Hurry up.
Yeah, I'm not playing with you. Snapping your fingers is not going to get you anywhere with me.
Robin. Yeah, she just called me. Robin, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, try to switch it to the document camera.
Okay.
Am I in the way?
No, that's okay. Who told you you could use that computer?
Oh, I just started doing my presentation on here because I'm fixing to do a speech presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on
DocCam.
DocCam.
We would prefer that you use the computer lab downstairs because this is all tied into the 6 sensitive equipment. And can you see your document camera?
Yes, I can see it.
What's on it? Oh, and that microphone is on there?
Yes.
Is the computer turned on?
Yes.
Switch it to computer camera.
Okay. Can you see it?
No, that's really weird. Can you reboot?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Miss Green,
Yes.
my presentation, I had it on my computer and I was finishing it last night and my computer crashed. And I took it to the technology guy here and I told him that I have class at 1 and he said he'll try and see if it can be done. But I'm not sure. Oh, 1 second.
Okay. If not, we can have you do your presentation before the final or something. What were you asking, Justin? Yeah, no, you don't need to go get more testing. It's entirely up to you. out the order for this class. Thank you. Are you first? Who's first? Okay, here we go.
Miss Green?
I have you, Justin, Sherry, Anthony. Yes, sir?
He just came and he said that, it erased all of the temporary files, because it's like a school computer or something. So it's not on there, but I wrote some stuff down on it that I had remembered, because in case this did happen. But, I'm not sure I can have a PowerPoint to you until like Friday, because I have to find something else to do it on.
How do you feel about waiting until next Wednesday? And we'll just have you present, and then we'll take the final.
Oh, okay. That'll be fine.
Well,
Thank you, Miss Green.
You're welcome. Now, would you prefer to go today?
I don't mind, just I don't have very much written down. I don't think it'd be enough for 4.5 to 6 minutes, how it's supposed to be. Or
Yeah, so
very smooth.
Yeah, so let's wait till Wednesday. And
Okay,
then we'll
thank
have
you.
you do it that day. You're welcome. Okay, so, now, let's see. Plainview, will somebody in Plainview talk so I can see who's there? Plainview, hello? What deal? Yeah, so I'll just pull up the internet and then you can log in. Are you talking about your whole, user name and not just on your email at MySTC?
I think I'll send it.
Yeah, will you? Go send it. Plainview, is anybody there? Hello? Hello? Plainview? Are you there? I wonder if we're not hooked up. I'm gonna go see what's going on.
Hey, I'm gonna need everybody quiet for just as soon as she starts talking, I can't have any talking, because I have to be able to hear her to see if that was fixed. Okay, let me have your, thingy. Oh, this, where's she got, PowerPoint, where's Lisa? Where's Lisa's PowerPoint? Okay. It's under, it's over there.
There you are, yay!
Yay.
Did you guys see the order?
Do what? Oh,
Here's the
okay.
order. And,
Thank
Robin, will you see if now it will show the computer over there, or if that's still not working? Thank you.
Right now. You're welcome.
Okay, we got editing. Is Maricela there? Oh, there she is in the second row. Kiana, no Kiana. Oh, is that Kiana? Wait, no, wait. Who is that way in the back?
Oh, it's Mona.
Mona, we moved her because she's in the way of the speech.
Oh, okay. Laura. Okay. So April, do you want to go after Priscilla? Okay, Eddie?
Yep.
Marcel. Okay, so JJ's not going today because his computer crashed, so. And then Justin, Sherry, and, okay, so, Eddie,
Can
if
you
you
see
want to.
that?
No,
Okay.
so that's okay. We just need to go today, but, so we can figure it out. So Eddie, if you want to get set up, and I'm going to move out into the audience. All of my people are not here, and I don't know where they went. But I'm here.
Okay, it's not here. Yeah, no, I don't think we'll probably show.
I'm ready whenever.
Hang on. Turn this on so that I can move everything, so.
Hold on just one sec. I think it's really, really loud. I'm going to turn it down and then I'll mute when I sit down. All right. I am muting. So ready when you are, Eddie.
Okay.
Okay, the other day I was coming back from the grocery store, and as I was turning to make my way into traffic to head back home, I saw a person texting and driving, and then another person passed. That person was also texting and driving, and another person passed, and guess what? That person was texting and driving too. So like, why not get my topic about this? So I want you to answer this question in your head. Don't raise your hand, but how many of you can honestly say that you texted and drove while on the road? How many of you can say that you can answer the phone while you're driving? I'm guilty of changing my song on the iPod, so I can't really speak for anybody else. But according to autos.aol.com, 31% of U.S. drivers admit that they text while driving. Another 2/3 admit that they talk on the phone while driving. And 100,000 plus crashes a year involve cell phones. Today I will explain to you why we need to put the cell phones away as drivers. Then we will take a look at the outcome of texting and driving. And then we're going to look at what's being done lawfully to help prevent texting and driving. So first, let's take a look at why we need to put away our cell phones. And I get all this source from textinganddrivingsafety.com. It's really good. I mean, if you have kids that text and they're already driving, this is a really good source to check out. So when you text and drive, you increase the risk of crashing 23% more likely. 5 seconds is the minimum amount of time that your attention is taken away from the road. So that means when you're texting, 5 seconds minimum is how much time is being taken away while you're driving. Drivers who spend 10% texting and driving are always swerving lanes and they don't even realize it. And if you're traveling at 55 miles per hour, this equals to driving the length of a football field without looking at the road. So that's really obvious, really good reason why you shouldn't text and drive. It is important not to text and drive because at least 11 teens die every day for texting and driving. And over 11,000 fatalities happened last year in 2012. And 23% of crashes involve cell phones. All drivers affected when you text and drive. Texting and driving causes 1.6 million accidents a year, 330,000 injuries, and nearly 25% of all car accidents. Texting and driving is about 6 more times likely to cause an accident than driving drunk. And in fact, now texting and driving deaths have surpassed drinking and driving deaths. So just keep that in mind. And now texting and driving is quickly becoming the #1 killer for deaths in our country. And those were some statistics, and if that doesn't persuade you to quit texting and driving, then maybe this will. We're going to take a look at the outcome of texting and driving. This is Alex Brown, 17 years old. I would have a PowerPoint, but they said it was broken, so I printed it. But this is Alex Brown, 17 years old. Very pretty. Her parents say, quote, "We lost our daughter Alex Brown in a single car accident as she drove to what seemed like just another ordinary day of her senior year in high school. Although no other vehicles were involved, Alex was not alone. The cell phone on which she had sent and received over 10,000 text messages in the week preceding her accident was with her. Alex lost her life to texting and driving." And one more time, that's Alex Brown. And I use females in this because I have 3 daughters, and one of them is a teen, and she is hardcore on her phone, and she's getting to that age where she's fixing to start driving. This is Casey Kerfoot, 18 years old. Casey was a bright and talented young woman whose life ended because of a single text message. I hope that everyone who hears her story will remember to keep their eyes on the road, their hands on the wheel, and to focus on driving. Her mother says, "Casey and I talked about distracted driving so many times, but she always thought she was good enough and fast at texting. She never thought something like this could happen to her." Her mother also says, "This is real. It could happen to you whether you're a teen or an adult. I never want another family to go through what my family has been through." This is Callie Ann Murray, 2-year-old baby girl. On December 1st, 2010, 2-year-old Callie Ann Murray and her mother Ling were walking home from a park just blocks from their home. As they crossed the street, a young driver texting on her cell phone struck Callie and Ling with their car. Callie was killed instantly, and her mother was in the hospital. And the source that I got all that information was from www.distraction.gov. And they have a lot of stories on there if you want to check them out. Adults, teens, you name it, they got it. So, some tips that you can do to avoid texting and driving. 1, turn off your cell phone. Easy as that. I mean, it can't get no simpler than that. Another thing you can do is put your cell phone out of reach. Put it in the back seat, put it in the glove box. If you can't reach it, you can't text. Another thing you can do is download an app that will temporarily disable your phone, which I have that app on my phone. You can get it. Go to your app store. It's a free app. And if you have to have your cell phone on, you at least put it on silent and turn off the vibration. If you can't hear it, then you're not going to know anybody's texting. So it can wait. An accident is not worth your time, your money, or your life, or anybody else's time and money, or definitely not anyone else's life. You don't want to live with that guilt. Remember, this can happen to anybody. So just because you think you're good at texting and driving, hey, one of the females I just showed on here thought she was good, and guess what? She's dead now. Those are a few tips at texting and driving. So finally, we're going to go over the laws. And I get this source from onlineschools.com. And 10 states plus DC prohibit all drivers from using handheld cell phones. 32 states and DC prohibit novice drivers from cell phones. 39 states plus DC prohibit all drivers from text messaging. And of course, just because it's a law doesn't mean people are going to obey it. But now that you have the word out, it's up to you to decide if you're going to not text and drive. And today we've looked at why we need to put the cell phone away to drivers, the outcome of texting and driving, and finally some of the laws of texting and driving. So just remember that it's up to you. You know, it could happen to anybody. Like this female said, she thought she was good at texting and driving, but I mean, she's dead now. And then the lady that hit the little 2-year-old baby, I mean, come on. I'm pretty sure she thought she, it could happen to anybody is what I'm trying to say. So thanks for your time.
Great job, Eddie. In Lubbock, did you hear about in Lubbock, right over by where I live? Well, whatever. On Quaker 19th in front of the new Market Street, there was a horrible accident Monday night. It was a 17-year-old girl who was texting and she was drunk, and she ran a red light, hit a motorcycle driver, instantly killed him, and then there was like a 5-car, and it was smashed all over, and they had it all closed down. It was awful.
Gosh,
Awful.
terrible.
So.
I think we have a question on this side real quick.
Okay, sure.
I don't know who I'm evaluating.
Okay, let me show. Is everybody seeing? The people in green over here, that means you're doing evaluations for whoever's over on this side. And the peer evaluation is on page 333.
I do it for people.
Yes. So who am I doing? Sherry, wait. Uh-oh. I get to get out of it again? Yay. If you do my timer, that's fine. So, okay, Justin, you do one for April. April, you do one for Justin. Oh, no, Sherry, you'll do one for JJ, but he's not going today because his computer crashed and they couldn't recover his files. Okay, so I'm doing April. No. You'll do JJ, but on the day of final. Day of final? Yep. Okay. Which our final is Wednesday, right? Wednesday, our final is Wednesday at 1. Okay, because it's set on the schedule. I know, don't go by the schedule. Normally I would say go by the schedule, but for ITV classes we can't go by the schedule. So our final is Wednesday at 1 o'clock. All the 2 extra credit quizzes are up. Go take those. Study quizzes 8, 9, 10, 11 for the test. Sharpie up there? Yes, there is a Sharpie. So, okay, sorry. I sell it. Let me,
Somebody answer. Miss Green?
Yes?
What is that second extra credit quiz? Is that just another extra credit quiz?
There's 2. There's the one that says extra credit quiz, and then there's quiz 11, which is also extra credit.
Okay.
So, they're both up. They go down Tuesday night at midnight.
I think she puts them up there like as late.
But can we retake it if we did a bad grade? And
No,
do it again, retake it? She won't let you retake it. Because I would like to try to get a better grade.
It'll let you take the late quiz because it shows up as a different grade, but I'm going to use the grade that's the best, which is almost always going to be the one you took on time. Okay, so I'm going to mute now and we'll turn it over to you.
Okay. Hold on, please. Let me get you to.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Okay, I'm going to talk about the importance of donating blood. We all know there's different companies and hospitals who are always asking or doing blood drives. But to me, it was never a big deal until about 4 years ago, I had an eye-opening, or something that opened my eyes. I was in delivery giving birth to my 3-year-old, well, now he's 3-year-old. And while I was doing that, I had complications, and after I delivered him, I had to have 2 blood transfusions. During that time, it really made me realize the importance of donating blood. I mean, that blood, I don't know who it came from, I'll never know, but if they weren't to give donated blood, I might not have had those 2 blood transfusions, which made me realize how important it is, and which is why I continue to donate blood as much as I can now. Another eye-opener, the end of February, I had a close friend of mine who was having a hysterectomy done. Well, her hysterectomy went way wrong. She was in a coma, and she had She was in the hospital for about 3 months before she passed away. Those 3 months, she ended up having 54 pints of blood being donated. And I mean, she was sick the whole time. She was really sick. She was pale. She was asleep the whole time, of course, but it was just a really bad time for her. And I mean, everybody around, which made me realize how actually it is very important to donate blood as much as you can. The need for blood, only 5% of the population around here donates blood. I read that on netdoctor.com, which isn't a very big percentage. There's a bigger percentage of people who actually need blood. Every time you give blood, you're helping 3 people out. I also read that on AmericanRedCross.com. And I didn't realize how much one donation of blood can help. And that's a lot to donate just one time. You're helping 3 different people out. Every year, over 5 million Americans need blood transfusion. And most of that is women who need blood. And I read this on healthywoman.com, which is kind of odd to me, but that's what I read on that website. The satisfaction you get on giving blood is knowing that you could possibly become someone's hero. We all know everybody has different blood types, and there's certain blood types. I think I read blood type 0. I think that was a hard blood, or a difficult blood type that many people don't have, so it's hard for them to have that kind of blood in storage. And you never know. I mean, it could be your son, your grandma, your mom who's in that hospital needing that blood. And by you giving, you're making a change in someone's life, helping somebody. Your blood can possibly help somebody survive, somebody live. There are 4 easy steps in donating blood. The first step is registration. You sign up, you become a blood donor. All you have to do is answer a few questions. You read a pamphlet over the importance of the blood process, and then you also have to show an ID, or they usually give you a blood donor card. And so after your second time you have that card, all you have to do is just show them your blood donor card. The second step is a mini physical. You answer, this is personal, it's just you and the nurse. You answer a couple of questions about your health history, and the nurse checks your temperature, blood pressure, and pulse just to make sure you're okay and you're healthy to give blood. The next is the donation process. This takes about 8 to 10 minutes. It's not very painful. I mean, the first time it's a little painful, but it's just the first minute or so whenever they pinch you, and then after that you feel a little dizzy, lightheaded, but you're seated really comfortably, and before you know it, those 8-10 minutes will be over with. The last step is refreshments. You will be given a small snack and a beverage, and you are asked to stay there in the facility for 10 to 15 minutes until you're free to go, just in case something goes wrong or you pass out or anything like that. The action we can all take today is become a regular blood donor and continue to help others with your kind actions. In conclusion, after my friend passed away, they did I think they had held about 5 different blood drives for her. And after those blood drives, I'm not sure exactly how many people ended up donating, but I was told afterwards, every person who donated a pint of blood, on her parents' bill, her hospital bill, a percentage was taken off of her bill for every one person who donated. And I believe there was about over 60 people who ended up donating. It was in different areas, here, Snyder, and San Angelo. So it was a little over 60 people who donated for her. And that was a big help for her parents. So by donating blood, you never know whose life you can change, who you can help. And that's all I have for you.
Yeah. Good job. Oh, Justin has a question. Hurry. One pint. right?
Wait, what's the question?
It was, when you donate, do you give, how much do you give?
No, how much money? Oh, money? Are you asking how much you get paid?
No.
Yeah.
How much
Oh.
blood do you give?
A pint.
It's 1 pint.
Yeah. Which is 2 cups? Yes? Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Ah. Okay, very good. Who's next?
Ms. Green,
Uh-huh.
since Tiana's not here, what are we supposed to do for our peer evaluation?
Right at the top, Kiana, not here, and then send it and I'll give you credit because you were here to do it. You just couldn't.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. But Priscilla's there, right? I think I saw her.
Yes, she's here.
Okay. So then we're not going to go out to Morton. We're going to come back here to Levelland. So, all right, I'm going to mute. I was just going to say, I bet women have donations so often because of childbirth. That's my guess.
Go as I.
It's a real blood type.
Where's it at?
Okay. Sorry about that. We're going to use the PowerPoint just so this class can see it. So that's why it's taking me just a second.
I don't think I can.
You got it, girl.
Okay. And my presentation is over why parents should inform their children of contraception and abstinence. Okay. I got all my information from the Guttmacher Institute. Fox News, everybody, like, everything that I looked up on this topic, they always referred to that. So, as of 2008, New Mexico is the leading state in teen pregnancies. 93 out of 1,000 teenage girls were pregnant. Texas comes in third from all 50 states. That's 85 out of 1,000 girls are pregnant. Okay, the teen abortion rate was highest in New York. It was 37 out of 1,000 teenage girls were getting abortions. This is ages 15 to 19. By 2010, 367,752 babies were born to teenage mothers in the U.S. 48,456 of those births were in Texas. And Texas has the highest rate of repeat births to teen mothers in the country. Today, it's scary how many people have STDs. I'm scared to go to Lubbock and use the restrooms. So, the rate of reported STDs among teens jumped 53% from 1997 to 2007. Pregnancy rates have declined since the 1990s, and contraceptives and abstinence are major factors in that. The Purity Pledge, 1 out of 8 keep their promise. In a study of college freshmen and sophomores, 37% said oral sex is, an abstinent behavior, they assume. And abstinence is the only way to avoid unwanted pregnancies or STDs. Okay, I had this video in there, but it's not showing. It's pretty much talking about how you benefit from contraceptives. we all know teenagers are having sex. Just, I mean, if you can think back to when you were a teenager, I'm sure it was around as well. So if you're not gonna, I suggest you talk to your children about it. My parents talked to me about it a lot because my sisters did have children when they were teenagers, and I mean, contraceptives, I mean, they say they prefer for me not to, but I mean, we're teenagers, we're young and stupid, so they say if you are, just be smart about it, and that's pretty much it.
Yay, we clapped. I just hit the button too late. So thank you, Priscilla. Okay, so now we're gonna move here. April, sorry. Forgot. Thank you.
You're going to be in the communications field and listen to me.
Uh-huh.
Stick around, I'll get my papers, and then just bring it back to you.
Okay. That's all right.
Because I'm writing huge. Sorry.
Yeah.
My stuff is on there.
Okay. That's
I
great.
have some pictures, they're not really too graphic, but if everybody's gonna be okay with it, there's a little kid that just has like, it's like a rash, but other than that, you know.
Yeah, I think we can handle
Is that
it.
okay with you guys? Okay. I'll send her, if this is just a vaccination schedule.
Okay, she's gonna send that to you, the vaccination schedule, but she's gonna pass it out here.
If you guys send, I don't know. Most everybody has kids in here. Okay, I'm going to talk about the importance of getting your child vaccinated, just because there are a lot of different infectious diseases out there, and I'm going to talk to you about probably like 6 or 7 of them. And how many of you guys do have children? And you want your child to grow up healthy, correct? Okay, so there is some controversy over vaccines and autism. I'm not really going to get into autism because that's another subject, but there's about 10% of parents in the United States right now that are not getting their children vaccinated just because of that, and that is the Journal of Pediatrics has said that's just a source of where this information came from. And so I'm going to tell you today how vaccines can save your children from certain diseases. For instance, number 1, polio. It was an eradication effort started in 1988. Endemic, which is founded in a specific population or particular region of the world. Only 3 countries in the whole world are still found with polio because they have chose to stop vaccinating their children from polio, and that's Afghanistan, Nigeria, and Pakistan. What can happen with polio, if you do get polio, it's a debilitating disease that can leave you crippled. And that's for the rest of your life, where you would have to use crutches, a wheelchair, and also it causes iron lung. I never heard that. That's something new for me. But some people probably have a family member that does have polio. I know I do. I have a cousin. And growing up from when I was young to now, I had always seen her with, like I said, crippled. She could walk, but one of her legs, it was damaged due to polio. And then now it progressed in her, and she's just pretty much wheelchair bound, where she can't walk. Another disease, children can get is measles, mumps, or rubella. That's a vaccine that all of those medicines are in one vaccine. So like which helps the measles, mumps, and rubella. But for measles, everyone in the U.S. got measles way before the vaccine was founded back in 1988, I believe, and before the vaccine, around 450 deaths were reported each year between 1953 and 1963. 3 out of every 1,000 person will die in the U.S. If you don't get vaccinated with the measles or the mumps or rubella. It's much higher in the developing world, like other countries, mostly because they are poor, like Afghanistan, Nigeria, and Pakistan. Those countries are much poorer than like the U.S. or Canada. And complications that do arise with measles is an ear infection, pneumonia, or diarrhea. And it's one of the most infectious diseases reported in the U.S. Most of my information, what I handed out earlier to the people here was vaccination sheet. It tells you, it's a schedule basically, and it tells you when you should get your child vaccinated. And the earlier you get your child vaccinated, the better, just so they don't have to go through complications. And I know I don't want to see my child come down with the measles or chickenpox. I don't know if most of older people have had chickenpox. I have, and I remember having the chickenpox. I had it really bad. You're itching and you're just miserable, and I don't want to see my son miserable, itching. And then sometimes most of the kids will get scars from the chickenpox. And I remember there's this one lady that I worked with, her son, he had scars all over his face and from the chickenpox. And one of the things that I know you're not supposed to do when you do have the chickenpox is pick them, because it's like a scab. You don't want to pick your scabs because you get scars. And poor thing, I kind of felt sorry for him because he had all those scars all over his face due to the chickenpox. And that's one thing I don't want to see my son get, is the chickenpox. So that's why it's very important. The vaccine for the chickenpox, which is called the varicella, that came in to existence probably in the early 2000s, and that's helped a lot of, once they get older, it helps with the shingles. And I know when you get older, my mother has had the shingles probably 2-3 times already, and that's more, a little worse than having the chickenpox. Meningitis is another, it's called Haemophilus influenza, which is known as meningitis. And a lot of students, especially college students, when you're a freshman, must be vaccinated with meningitis due to the significance of the disease. The vaccine was introduced back in December of 1987. Hib, again, that's what it's called. Meningitis was the most common cause of bacterial meningitis, like I just told you. It kills over 600 children annually. Many of the children are left with deafness, seizures, or mental retardation. Now, less than 10 fatal cases are annually, or 10 cases were confirmed annually. And the CDC suggests you get your children vaccinated, and that's the Center of Disease Control. Not just, if you don't get your child vaccinated, it's going to be hard to get your child in school, public schools for one, and also daycare. Daycare, it's very important that you get your child vaccinated, because daycare will probably not let your child into daycare if they are not vaccinated, just because all of those diseases, they're infectious, and it's, they're just not when you're a little kid, but when you grow older, you could contact a disease. Measles, mumps, it coincides with measles. If you're old, when males are in their puberty age, they can get, males and females can become sterile if they get measles, mumps in their puberty age, just because the disease progresses inside of you, which you don't realize that you have the measles, but once you get it, it causes sterility in men and women in their puberty ages. So it's very important that everybody gets vaccinated, especially once you're a child. I know there's a lot of shots that a child has to receive when they are in the doctor office, mostly like 5 shots, so 5 or more shots usually. But in conclusion, please get your children vaccinated. It's very important to everybody, as well as not you, but other children. Thank you.
Yay! Sorry. I'm having to do this in all of my classes. When I get to 8, I put up the stop sign because we're running out of time in some classes. So, well, in almost every class. Okay, so who's Justin here first?
Yeah.
Smallpox, for smallpox. They gonna do that? Yeah.
My dad got shingles, and he said it was one of the most painful things that's ever happened to him, and he got polio when he was a kid. Plug it in on the side of the glass, right there, right over here. Yeah. I'm not going to have to keep trying to make you be alive. Okay. Are you gonna, no. Is it a PowerPoint? No. So are you gonna point to me, or where are you gonna do? You want me to show this? I can do it. Like, how are you? Okay. I'm just holding over here. But I'll have to continue. Okay. Do you know how to switch back and forth between that and the computer? No. Over there on the left-hand side, you have to DVD and then PC cam. And then when you want to go back to the instructor cam, it's down on the left. Okay. I know. Well, but it doesn't. I have a clicker, but that doesn't switch cameras. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's very unprofessional. I am a professional.
You can stand.
Oh, wait. Can you find it? That's like for you.
Okay. Stand. Yeah, stand behind there, or push the chair back if you want, or not. Very funny. No, I'm glad you remembered.
Alright, I'm Justin. I'll be talking about an eco-friendly car. Times are tough, what can I say? You need, gas is going up, it's constantly going up, and there's no sign of it going back down anytime soon, especially with it about to be summer, and that's when they make all their major money off of us. So times are tough. that's why you should invest in a fuel-efficient car. Not necessarily eco-friendly, but more fuel-efficient. Why fuel-efficient cars are the solution? They're better for the economy. They have better gas mileage. They're more affordable than you'd think they are. They're easy to maintain. Your need for it. Now I know that some of you have a good car and it's reliable. That's okay. Maybe you don't need to upgrade yet, but sooner or later you will. And that's why I think it's better for you to just go ahead and upgrade, and you won't have to worry about your car breaking down and having to fix the engine and everything. You just get it all solved with a brand new car. Satisfaction, I mean, that's easy. If you have a good, stable job and you're making good amount of money, then you can afford to go ahead and have an additional car if your car is still fine. But really, once you get that car and you see how much gas you're saving on it and how much money you're not wasting, you're gonna realize that, hey, maybe I should just sell my old car to a freshman in college. That's what I would do. Alright, I'm gonna switch it over to the visualization real quick. Alright, up first we have the Ford Fusion Hybrid. This is off the Ford website. It gets the standard one. It's not the hybrid. The standard, it gets 22 miles to the gallon and 34 on highway. But if you go to the hybrid, it gets 47 both ways, city and highway. And it's not very expensive, like I said. They're more affordable than you think. It's only $22,000. So. That's if you're a Ford person. Next we have the Dodge people. This is the Dodge Dart. It has a 2.4 liter engine. It gets up to 41 miles per gallon on the highway. They're class leading in safety and security. And it starts off at about $16,000. So, another affordable car and better for the economy. Next, for a Chevy people, I'm a Chevy person, so I have to say us. We have the Chevy Cruze, and the Chevy also has a new car called the Chevy Bolt, and I'll get to that one. But this is the Chevy Cruze. It has a 5-star overall vehicle score for safety. It offers up to 42 miles to the gallon. That's the best in its class on any gas engine in America. So I can't say it beats the Prius because Prius good, but it's not American made. And this one only starts off at $17,000, so that one's a fairly cheap car as well. Okay, so number one, they're better for the economy. This is clear to identify because the drivers of eco-friendly cars consume a minimum of natural resources, so the natural resources will never get back, and so if you're consuming less, you're not killing our environment, and plus it doesn't throw off all that carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. It's better gas mileage. Like I said, the Prius is number one so far, and it gets 46 miles to the gallon. Most people spend a third of their paycheck on gas, so that's off the Toyota Motor Company. And so with the Prius getting 46 miles to the gallon, that's 8 cents that you're actually paying for that gallon whenever you're driving at 46 miles to the gallon. More affordable. This is true because there is a potential for tax break if you drive a green car. Purchasing a hybrid car means you'll be eligible for as much as $3,000 back on your tax returns. And that's just money that you can easily pay off your car with. It's a smart decision. They're easy to maintain. I've never heard of a eco-friendly car just breaking down. I mean, you get hit by one. The likelihood of that one surviving is not that great, but that's besides the point. They're easier to maintain. They don't mess up in the engine. They don't break down as much. So my conclusion to everyone is, if you're gonna buy a new car, think eco-friendly, because it's the way to go. You can get up to $3,000 back on your tax breaks. So it's more affordable and stuff like that. And that's why I believe that fuel-efficient cars are the solution.
Well, I gotta take it out because I gotta put mine in. Contraception. Don't use contraception, just get an abortion. There you go. Bad idea. Bad idea. Okay. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. Can y'all hear me okay? Y'all hear me? Okay? Yeah, good? Awesome. Okay. You ready? Alright. Alright, how many of you eat dinner with your family 4 or more times a week? Maybe? Okay. Alright, studies show that families do not spend enough this valuable time together eating meals. It is very important that families do make the most of this time and are able to spend it with each other. First of all, I'm going to talk about some of the negative effects of not having frequent family dinners together. Then we'll go to some more of the positives, like improved relationships and better nutrition. And finally, I'll give y'all some tips on how to make this easier for everybody. Okay. Oh, where's the PC camera? There it is. Okay. You have to DVD first. Okay. Alright, so researchers, a study done by the National Center for Addiction and Substance Abuse, or CASA, at Columbia University, researchers found that teens who have infrequent dinners with their families are twice as likely to use tobacco, almost twice as likely to use alcohol, and 1.5 times more likely to use marijuana. And this was a study done over 16 years, over thousands of teens and their parents. Also, researchers also found out that teens who have these infrequent dinners are more likely to have friends who abuse prescription drugs, illegal drugs such as acid, ecstasy, cocaine, methamphetamines, and heroin. Bad, very bad, okay? So, okay, but next we're going to have a look at the more
positive side of family dinners. One good thing that comes from family dinners is that families have improved relationships with each other. One lady, Teresa McIntyre, she's a teacher and a writer of educational materials with a degree in elementary education from Utah State University. Says that families who eat frequent meals together achieve better communication, stronger relationships, better school performance, and they are better adjusted as teens and adults. See, happy brothers and sisters and good report cards. Hey. We all like happy brothers and sisters and good report cards. Okay. Family dinner time should also be open to discussion for anything. Everybody should be encouraged to participate in the conversation, or, there's games that you can play with your kids while you're having dinner. They also said that students, they gave some students a questionnaire to fill out that asked how many times a week they had dinner with their family, and then they gave them a little standardized academic test. And they found that students who have dinner with their family more than 4 times a week actually scored better on those tests. They also found out that preschoolers who eat dinner with their families regularly have better communication skills and better language skills, because dinner time gives them an opportunity to hear more of the spoken language and to see their parents interact with one another. Okay. When families dine together. Okay. According to an article by Miss Jeannie Davis, a former writer for WebMD.com, says that when families dine together, they tend to eat more fruits and vegetables, eat less fried foods, drink less sodas, and also eat food with no trans fat. Or eat less food with trans fat. Okay. That didn't look right. Okay, eat less food with trans fat. Unfortunately, there are some studies that say, some statistics that show that 1 in 5 kids ages 6 to 19 are actually overweight. And that can lead to serious problems later on in their lives, like high blood pressure, heart disease, and diabetes. I knew that one. Teresa McIntyre also said that parents should be careful not to use food as a reward or punishment, require their children to finish everything that's on their plate, or use food to comfort them when they're upset or when they're hurt, because this can also lead to eating disorders later on in life, such as anorexia and bulimia and things like that, and we all know those are bad. The dinner tips page at familydinnerproject.org suggests that parents watch portion sizes, eat more whole grains, and try non-animal sources of proteins like tofu, beans, rice, and more peanuts and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm going to give you all some tips on making dinner time a little easier for everybody. A lot of families with active teens know that it is hard for everybody to get together to have a meal. The main reasons why people have such a hard time getting together for meals: scheduling conflicts, no time to cook, and some parents admit that they don't even know how to cook. The saddest reason why families don't interact with each other at dinner time is because the TV is on while they're trying to have a nice family dinner. So if you find yourself eating dinner with your family in front of the TV, turn it off. Okay, just turn it off. It is annoying, it's just distracting, and it's rude. Okay, so some tips for family meal times. When it comes to the family meal, researchers say that picking up takeout, ordering pizza, and eating out together at a restaurant are all acceptable, as long as you are together. Okay. All right, for those of you who don't have time, and this is my own personal advice, this is a crock pot. You can make meals, buy the big 1 gallon Ziploc bags, make meals, put your vegetables and all your meats in there, freeze them, then you can take them out of the freezer, put them in the crock pot in the morning before you leave. By the time you get home, if you've got it cooking slow all day, then it'll be ready by the time you're ready for dinner. Also, okay, thefamilydinnerproject.org has resources on easy recipes, fun games to play during dinner, as well as ways to make conversation. I know it's hard to make conversation with teenagers sometimes, but it does give you tips on how to make conversation with your teens and how to get them interested in the conversation and what's going on, as opposed to them just being like, oh, everything's okay. My day was fine. I don't care. Because I know how I was when I was 13, so. But, okay, so now that I have shown you some of the bad, the good, and the easy of family dinner time, you can go home with this knowledge, and hopefully everybody in here will have a great dinner with their family tonight. Thank you. It's called Skype, dude. It's on Skype. Call your mom and be like, hey, Mom, let's eat and talk on the phone together at the same time. Some couples do that. Eat with your roommate. Yeah, eat with your roommate.
Well, then, if you have your own family.
Yeah, guy roommates don't do that.
Okay, do you want somebody to sit here and do this for you?
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Anybody else have any questions?
I'm gonna go to the family dinner project. Yeah. Great.
I wouldn't talk about it.
Wow. That is one detail, that one.
No, I didn't want to overwhelm you, but maybe I did.
It's on the other side. Yeah. Thank you. All right, Anthony.
Don't throw anything at me. Please.
Water.
I have my phone, dude. I have water bottles on my electronic side more than
Okay. It's DV, VCR, the MPC cam? Switch over?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it starts at 10, it's bottom left. So it shows you.
Golly. I wasn't nervous until now. No, I'm kidding. Never am.
Wait. That's probably you. We won't do that with you. All right, ready when you are.
Good, good, good. Plainview, y'all ready? Yeah, they're ready. Alright. Have you ever noticed how females constantly complain about their body? How they're always like, oh, I'm too fat, oh, blah, blah, blah. I wish I had her, whatever. You women are crazy, bottom line. Beautiful, and I'll express beautiful as much as I can, but y'all are crazy. Well, the thing is, there's two main objects that empower those women to be so picky and talk about themselves so much. Some women have them bigger than others, some women have them smaller than others. Those are breasts. I want to talk to you today about breast augmentation. Let me start my slide. How do you start a slide?
Slideshow. Slideshow tab. Already got it out there.
Golly, I'm messing up. Justin, you want to do this?
Or trying to think some deck.
Yeah, technical difficulties. Anyways, breast augmentation, why you females should do it. Next slide. Domestic abuse happens of 1 out of 3 women. 1 out of every 3 women. And, what?
She got 99 problems.
Oh yeah, she got 99 problems. I was trying to do that song parody. Thank you for getting it, Sherry. Anyways, domestic abuse happens every single day. 1 out of 3 women are abused at home. That alone is a very sad fact. But a more important question is, why does the woman stay? Why does she not just get up and leave? There's a lot of if-so, fact-so, like kids, they have kids with a guy, whatever. Anyways, let's go to low self-esteem, which probably is the main reason for domestic abuse, by the way. The low self-esteem constantly makes the female feel like she's not good enough, that maybe she won't be able to get out because she's not financially stable, something like that. Kids. Any of you ladies have kids in here? Yeah, I know y'all too. I don't know about over there in Plainview. Oh yeah, you? Okay. And you. Well, kids, they destroyed y'all's body. And I say that as nice as I can. But, I mean, when a woman's pregnant, your stomach gets bigger, your breasts get bigger, but after you have your kids, your body is kind of destroyed from what it previously was. I'm not saying it's destroyed right now or anything, so promise. I like y'all. Anyways, and also if you're gonna breastfeed the kids, they kind of get messed up. So, and you go down to too big. When female with the breasts that are too big often feel insecure, surprise, surprise, about how big they are, that everybody's looking at them. Well, yeah. And also, you know, it hurts their back. Gravity takes in. I'm about to go to the next slide. But anyways, gravity comes in and it hurts the female's back. So, I mean, either way, a woman's going to have a problem with her body no matter what. But at least with breast augmentation, there's help. Go to the next slide. All right. The other song parody was Ben Benassi, Push Me, and then Just Touch Me. Yeah, that song, and it's my satisfaction. Breast augmentation, breast augmentation, breast augmentation. In other words, the easy way to say it, boob job. Anyways, with breast augmentation, women become more confident. They get bigger. And if you remember Ms. Green's video that she showed us last week with that blonde hair lady talking about people getting bigger, how Justin did his power stance before we started. He got bigger and made him more confident. Whoop, there we go. Like that, when he did that. And it also increases your clothing option. And that might sound kind of iffy because, you know, a bigger person usually has to shop at a different type of clothing store. But with this, they have more clothes that are flattering for women, like showing cleavage and everything. And a lot of females are insecure about not being able to fill them out. It gets the body back. It gets you the body back before you had your kids, which I'm assuming was amazing. Not that it isn't amazing right now. Yeah, there you go, Sherry. No more constant back pain from carrying those big bad boys around. And it gives you the courage to leave that abusive relationship. It gives you the confidence you need to say enough is enough and to get out. Next slide. Okay, when you see this one, you might just think I'm a perv. 95% of it's true. But I couldn't put before and after pictures from that website down there, CenterraPlasticSurgery.com, because I wanted to keep it PG-13-ish up in here. So, and you see that the lady right there with the tie, she's in that power stance. She's a confident woman. And well, when the women get these boob jobs, something happens to them. And these are all testimonials from that same website. They want to do that. They want to get the boob jobs to feel better about themselves. It's like when you were a kid and you went clothes shopping, or before you got your school clothes, you got your new shoes, right? Well, you put them on. There is no fact that it made you run faster and jump higher, but it made you feel like you did, didn't it not? Yeah, it just something clicked up here. It made you feel confident. And that's what I'm trying to express to you. That these breast augmentation jobs, surgeries, are just confidence builders. So, like I said, I got distracted. Anyways, how do you do it now? Well, go to these websites I have provided with you. All along my presentation, I had websites to the right, breastaugmentation.com, or breastaugmentationdallas.com, breastaugmentation.com, wherever you look, and that's Centerra. You're going to try to locate a plastic surgeon and do extensive background information. Find out how long he's done it or she's done it and how qualified they have been. And get testimonials from people that have gone to him or her and see how they look like. And then once you do that, you're going to set up an appointment with this doctor. And since not every female's body is the exact same, they're going to have to fit you into how you will need to be proceed with the procedure, because, you know, maybe not everybody does need enlargements, maybe they do need reductions. So, with breast augmentation, the most important thing is build confidence. That is probably what I'm trying to express to you ladies, not be a pervert to you. Also, with confidence, you will get out of that abusive relationship that is horribly tragic, that, you know, 1 in every 3 women experience. You'll fix your back problems brought on by gravity and old age. Or you can marry me, I'm a massage therapist, so you big bosom ladies out there, I got you covered. Anyways, you can get back to bodacious body you once had before having kids, which I'm pretty sure it was way more bodacious. And you can be that more attractive to your man, or any man in the world, just because you have 2 brand new breasts. Thank you, everybody. Any questions? No? Good.
I don't have questions.
Oh.
Okay, so, thank you. Yeah, that's a non-obvious, thinking there. Okay. So our final is Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Before then, go and take if you want to, go take the 2 extra credit quizzes that are up on there. You need to go and do your persuasive self-evaluation. I just barely got the video this morning for Monday. I'm sure I'll get this one more quickly. So you can go on and do self-evaluation. And the other thing you can do if you want 10 extra activity points, these are extra credit. At the very end of your workbook, the very last page, front and back, is a course review. And I want you to write suggestions for how I can make this class better. And so if you can think of any specific suggestions, I would really appreciate it. Now, for you to get the 10 extra points, you actually have to put your name on there. But really the only thing that you could say that would hurt my feelings is get a boob job and and I hate you, because there's nothing I can do about that. But any suggestions you have about, and I've never had anybody write that, thank goodness, that I hate you. But any suggestions you have for making the class better or making it so it's easier to communicate back and forth, especially you guys that aren't face-to-face, I would really like to hear those, how to make it better. So, test, study, quizzes 8, 9, 10, and 11, they're all up, so you can look at those. Any questions? Okay. Good job. We'll see JJ on Wednesday. Oh, Tammy?
So our final is going to be over quizzes 8, 9, 10, and 11?
Yes.
Okay.
Bye. So has anybody heard from Kiana?
No,
Okay.
Miss Green, I have a note why I wasn't here Monday. Do you need that?
Yeah, sure. Then I want to take 20 points off for not doing it that day, so yeah, do that. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.